biggest change that you are going to observe from February onwards is that an exalted Venus is now sitting in your seventh house. It is forming an extraordinarily beautiful Parivartan Yoga, an exchange with Jupiter, which is sitting in your ninth house. The destiny is going to favor you and ensure that the opportunities that have been eluding you for this while, they will start falling in place. Connection, some sort of foreign support that is going to come in your workplace or in terms of your education as well. Hi guys, welcome back to Devastrology. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the transitory movement of the planets, and we will understand that what does the month of February hold for us in terms of our relationships, finances, career, business prospects, your overall health and prosperity. So before we go to understand that what is going to be the impact of these planets, let's try and quickly look into the important dates which are going to define the movement of these planets into different signs and houses for you. Now, as you guys can see on the screen here, Sun is going to be in the sign of Capricorn until 10th of Feb, and from 11th, 12th of February, it will be moving into the sign of Aquarius. It will be in conjunction with Mercury, which is also sticking in the sign of Capricorn as of now and will be moving into Aquarius on Jan 11th. However, Mercury will be making additional movement and it will be getting conjunct with Rahu and Venus in the sign of Pisces from 27th of February. Important thing to note is that Venus is already in its sign of exaltation and it has been in the sign of Pisces since Jan 27th, and it is going to be there for a duration of 110 days in this conjunction. It have very key impacts for all of us. Important thing to understand also is that this Venus is actually forming a Parivartan Yoga, an exchange with itself with Jupiter, because Venus sits in Pisces whilst Jupiter is placed in the sign of Taurus. Yes, it has been in retrograde motion, but Jupiter is going to become direct from February 4th. And in this progressive movement, you are going to see some transformative impact coming into your life. Movements will start happening in multiple areas of your life as we discuss further. Now, Mars is also sitting in its retrograde motion and it has entered the sign of Gemini already, as I'd mentioned in my January readings. And you will find that Mars will also become direct or progressive from February 24th onwards. So both of your retrograde planets, which is Jupiter and Mars, they will become direct and progressive in the month of February itself. So it's an important event that's going to come into play. Saturn continues in the sign of Aquarius in Purv Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is ruled by Jupiter itself. And you have Rahu, which is in the sign of Pisces at this point in time. It is in conjunction with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, ruled by Saturn. And Ketu is in the sign of Virgo. It is in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, which is again ruled by Sun. So these are some of the important dates that are going to come into play for the month of February. So Virgos, as you guys can see on your screen here, you have Ketu and Rahu in your 1 and 7 axis. But the biggest change that you are going to observe from February onwards is that an exalted Venus is now sitting in your 7th house. It is forming an extraordinarily beautiful Parivartan Yoga, an exchange with Jupiter, which is sitting in your 9th house. So the exchange is happening between the 7th and the 9th lords, and it's a very positive event that is coming into play for the Virgos. You have Sun and Mercury, which are going to be placed in your 5th house, and they will be transiting into your 6th house later in the month, whilst Mercury will further move ahead and get out in your 7th house itself. Saturn continues to be placed in your 6th house, whilst Jupiter is in your 9th and Mars in retrograded motion currently in your 10th. It is going to become direct and progressive later in this month itself. What a beautiful combination coming into play for the month of February for you guys, Virgos. Now, of course, this Ketu's presence has given some level of turmoil, some level of aloofness to your mind. But all that is going to change with this beautiful event of Venus coming into your seventh in exaltation. And of course, it gives a debilitated aspect back to the Lagna, but it is going to be a positive event for you. Before we talk more about it, let's talk about your Lagna Lord as well as the Lord of your 10th house, Mercury, which is currently in the sign of Capricorn in your 5th house, and it is in conjunction with Sun. This combination in your 5th house definitely tells me that if you are a student watching this video, February is going to be a month, along with the last few couple of weeks of January as well, where your efforts in terms of educations have definitely been fruitful. Both of these planets are giving an aspect to your 11th house, which means your desires, goals, objectives related to your education, related to your studies should have come to fruition. Otherwise, as well, for Virgos, this has been a period of creativity. This has been a period of strategic investments. That has been a period of finding some absolute gains, especially through the markets, from stock trading, from your investment strategies, or any creative pursuit that you've undertaken to make some additional gains as well through your side hustles. Sun and Mercury will continue in this position here for the first 10, 12 days, and then they will be transiting into your 6th house, your house of competition. Again, this is very good news for students watching this video because it is definitely going to amplify your competitive skills. It is going to help you achieve success in your goals and objectives if you're preparing for entry into a new college admission program or any university degree courses as well. This is going to be a period especially fruitful for people who are also coming out of college and looking for new job opportunities, because there is definite indication of success coming your way. You could get the right job placement offers as well during this time. Remember, it is your 11th lord and 10th lord that is forming a connection in your 6th house. It is also important that for rest of the other Virgos watching this video, you will be spending enormous amount of time in putting things in order in your life. At your job front, you are going to be taking measures in terms of addressing things that have been scattered away, not falling in place, and making sure that they are aligned and in tandem. If you are stuck with any kind of loans, litigations, and challenges, you should find some success. Yes, Saturn has been there for a while and he's been forming that Shatruhanta yoga and helping you out of that situation. But now you are going to have all the more impetus. So anything that has been lingering on for a long time, February would be the month that is going to provide you the respite to come off that situation. This could also create possibilities for many of you of engaging into new job offer discussions, entertaining new job role possibilities. And if one of your objective is to find, a career change coming into play, you could definitely leverage this opportunity for your gains. I think you are going to even find options to get promoted, new role change, and support from your bosses and leaders could also come into play at your work front if you are targeting anything of that sort. As we move ahead, we notice that your 7th house, wow, it's in such a beautiful space with that Parivartan yoga coming into play between an exalted Venus and that of Jupiter in your 9th house. Now, remember, your Lord of marriage and your 4th house has gone into the ninth. Somewhere or the other, fortune has been favoring you. There was some kind of delay, slowness, yet strength in that retrograded Jupiter for you. But now things are going to be more direct, more smooth, if I may say, in terms of functioning. You are going to see that you have to put in efforts when it comes to working on your marriage, your relationship, or your overall business objectives itself. Hard work is something that you will not be able to shy away from, but the rewards are also going to come. Somewhere the destiny is going to favor you and ensure that the opportunities that have been eluding you for this while, they will start falling in place. They are going to bring in the gains. The fulfillment of desires is going to happen naturally for you. So all that hard work in all these previous months that you've been putting into play, well, February onwards, I'm not saying just within February onwards, you will see the possibilities of reaping those benefits, reaping those rewards for your own success. So that's the first and the foremost thing. The second bit that comes into play is you could come in contact if you are looking forward to get married with the right partner, with a person of your choice, or you could materialize your romance as well during this period into some sort of a conclusion. You could get in contact with someone from a different caste, community, region, cultural background, country, whatnot. That is another possibility that comes into play. And there is definitely a lot of emotions, beauty, luxury that is pouring out. If you are a married person, there will be a lot of intent from your end towards making your partner happy, satisfying him or her in whatever material needs. It's like you would bring through your partner to your partner and with your partner. So that's a good element that is coming into play for you, Virgos, because I anticipate some of you could be putting in certain investments, starting something new. Maybe there is a role of your partner to play in your new venture. That is also another possibility. But there is a lot of indulgence, abundance that comes with this placement of Venus. And that's a good sign for people who are married. If you are in relationship or if you are trying to pursue a relationship, there is a lot of positivity that I anticipate from that angle as well. Of course, this Venus gives a debilitated aspect to the Lagna. Somewhere or the other, you are going to be more immersed towards your partner, or they could find some success. They could focus a lot more on their success and growth than yourself. So it also gives a possibility, depending on your chart and your natal chart itself, that there could be a sudden rise of your partner. They might do something excellent in their life during this phase and supersede your own expectations, their own expectations in terms of these material goals. So that's a positive thing that I anticipate happening for you. There is though a risk. An exalted Venus in seventh can be tricky from marital relationships perspective. If your Venus is not in good dignity in your natal chart, it does bring the possibility of a person getting involved into third party situations, bringing unexpected problems into their marriage because of the need of more Venus like characteristics in life. And thereby, one of the best remedies I would want to recommend you folks is that invest something, get something good for your partner, whomsoever you love, your spouse, your better half. Because if you do that, takes away the negative aspect of this Venus, this intent that can come into you, and you could be more focused in terms of doing good towards your partner itself. So that's a beautiful sign, that you have to do something positive for them, you know, help them indulge in something which is luxurious, buy them a good gift, take them up to a good spa, take you and your partner to a vacation, because seventh house is abroad as well. Seventh house is away from yourself. Seventh house is a long distance travel too. And you could see that also panning out in your case. All right. Now, your eighth house lord, which is Mars, and it is also the lord of your third house, that has been in debilitation. Somewhere your hard works have not been panning out. Somewhere your efforts have not been in the right direction, Virgos, and that is going to change because now this Mars has come out of its debilitation. Yes, it is in retrograde. It will become progressive direct in a few weeks, but it is in the 10th house. And it's so much beautiful position for Mars to be in because he is going to enjoy that aggression. He is going to enjoy putting in that hard work in that direction. And I think this is where that lack of energy, that lethargy that you had in you, is going to be replaced with enormous amount of efforts. Remember, it is the eighth movement from the third for this Mars, and it is also a third movement. So it is 3 and 8 connections from both angles. The third lord is going 8 places away and the eighth lord is going 3 places away, which means that you have to put in your efforts in isolation. Do not be afraid. You have to put enormous amount of efforts which nobody might see. But once you do that, the rewards of that will be coming in. They will be percolating in for you. Your fortune, your destiny is also going to be favoring you from that particular aspect. So that looks all the more positive to me. I also anticipate that there is going to be some sort of foreign connection, some sort of foreign support that is going to come in your workplace or in terms of your education as well. So, as students watching this video, I think opportunities for you coming in from international universities or for working professional people, you are going to come in contact either to import export opportunities or some people within your firms in different countries that can benefit you and find you growth. There could be unexpected troubles also, but you will be able to overcome thanks to the presence of Sun in the sixth house later and in the fifth house earlier. So I hope that connection is also clear to you. Now, last but not the least, the beautiful presence of Jupiter in your ninth house. It is the lord of your fourth and your seventh sitting in your ninth. So it is giving an aspect to your ascendant, to your third, as well as to your fifth. which is a positive thing happening. Its presence in the trine, its exchange with Venus is going to bring a lot of success. The fact of the matter that it is direct now and in a progressive motion, this Jupiter is going to help you accomplish that, the goals that you've been chasing, with the benediction of your fatherly figure, with the benediction of your with the blessings of your father. Or it could also be the right support coming in from your management, from your superiors, from bosses at your workplace. So I think somewhere or the other, the stars are also now aligning in terms of providing you the right support to accomplish things. As I've already mentioned, relationships look to be on a positive side for you. Health seems to be on the right side. You have to take certain precautions with the change in the weather and the season, so to speak. But I think all in all, in terms of gains, monetary gains, career progression, education, it looks to be a starting point of a fantastic period for you folks. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, then please smash on that like button, subscribe to Devastrology, and keep watching. Om Namah Shivaya.